Hello students, today we will be studying epithelium part 2. In the video on part 1, we had seen the definition of tissue, definition of epithelium, derivation of the word epithelium, and then we went on to see the 4 apical pole surface modifications which a cell can have. Now in this video, we will be classifying epithelium and we will be studying the simple epithelium. So how do we classify epithelium? Epithelial tissues can be simple, compound or glandular. In simple epithelium, we have 5 types: squamous epithelium, cuboidal epithelium, columnar epithelium, pseudostratified epithelium, which could be columnar or ciliated columnar, and ciliated epithelium, which could be ciliated columnar or ciliated cuboidal. Then compound epithelium, which could be stratified, transitional and specialized. And the third variety is glandular epithelium. Now when we talk of compound epithelium, we can classify it as stratified and specialized epithelium. Stratified epithelium, it could be stratified squamous epithelium, which could be of 2 types, keratinized and non-keratinized. Then it could be stratified cuboidal, stratified columnar and stratified columnar ciliated. Whereas specialized epithelium could be transitional, neurosensory, pigmented and germinal epithelium. Now let us go on to study the simple squamous epithelium. It is a single cell layer, hence it is simple epithelium. It is defined as a single cell layer of epithelium composed of tightly packed, thin, flat or squamous cells, and hence it is known as simple squamous epithelium. Structure: when viewed from the surface, the epithelial sheet looks like a tile floor with centrally placed bulging nucleus, and when viewed in a section, only some cells display the nucleus. So what is seen here is simple squamous epithelium. This is the basement membrane, and what we see here are flat, thin, squamous cells and bulging nucleus. This is simple squamous epithelium. What is the function of this type of epithelium? Transport of fluid and gases, lubrication, reduction of friction, and it acts as a limiting membrane. Since the cells are flat, squamous, thin cells, it helps in transport of fluids and gases. Where do we see simple squamous epithelium in the body? Lining of pulmonary alveoli, loop of Henle, rete testis, parietal layer of Bowman's capsule, inner and middle ears, blood and lymphatic vessels, and the 3 body cavities, that is the pleural, peritoneal and pericardial cavities. This is how simple squamous epithelium appears from the surface. Tile floor-like appearance with a bulging central nucleus. And this is how a slide of lung alveoli looks like. This is allopar field view, where what we see here are the alveoli lined by simple squamous epithelium. And this is a high par view showing us the lining of the lung alveoli, simple squamous epithelium, flat, thin squamous cells with bulging nucleus. Next we go on to study simple cuboidal epithelium. Again, it is a single cell layer. Definition: a single layer of polygonal shaped cells wherein height of the cell is same as width of the cell. This type of epithelium is known as simple cuboidal epithelium. Structure: when viewed in a section cut perpendicular to the surface, the cells are square shaped as the height is same as the width of each cell. and they have a centrally placed rounded nucleus. This is how a simple cuboidal epithelium looks like. Basement membrane and cells which are square shaped, height of the cell same as the width of the cell, and they have a rounded centrally placed nucleus. What is the function of this type of epithelium? Secretion, absorption, and protection. And where do we see simple cuboid epithelium in the body? Follicles of thyroid gland are lined by simple cuboidal epithelium. Ducts of many glands of the body, the covering of the ovary, kidney tubules, choroid plexus, inner surface of the lens, and the pigment layer of retina are lined by simple cuboidal epithelium. And this we see here, the thyroid follicles. This is a single follicle, and we can see it is lined by cuboidal cells, height of the cell equal to the width of the cell with a rounded centrally placed nucleus. So this is simple cuboidal epithelium seen lining the follicles of the thyroid gland. And this we see the same H&E stain slide of thyroid gland showing us low power view, the thyroid follicles lined by simple cuboidal epithelium, and a high power view here showing us the simple cuboidal epithelium lining the thyroid follicles. Next we go on to study the simple columnar epithelium. Again, a single layer of cell, defined as single layer of cells wherein the cell has more height than the width. The height is almost more than double the width of the cells. This type of epithelium is known as simple columnar epithelium. Structure: when viewed in a longitudinal section, the cells of epithelium are tall, rectangular, and have an oval nucleus which lies near the basal portion of the cell. Epithelium may have cilia or microvilli on their apical surface. When microvilli are arranged regularly, it is known as a striated border, and when microvilli are arranged irregularly, it is known as the brush border. What we see here is simple columnar epithelium, basement membrane, and cells are rectangular, height almost double than the width of the cell, having an ovoid nucleus which lies nearer to the base of the cell. What we see here are the apical portions of the columnar cells showing microvilli. These are cell surface modifications. If they are arranged regularly, they give rise to a striated border, and if they are placed irregularly, then they give rise to the brush border appearance. Function of simple columnar epithelium: transport, absorption, secretion, and protection. And sites where we see simple columnar epithelium: simple columnar epithelium without cilia or microvilli, that is plain just simple columnar epithelium, is seen in the mucous membrane of the stomach and large intestine. Ciliated simple columnar epithelium is seen in the uterus, lining epithelium of the uterine tube, efferent ductules of testis, parts of the middle ear and auditory tube, central canal of spinal cord, and lining of the ventricles of the brain. Simple columnar epithelium with striated border is seen in the mucous membrane of the small intestine. And simple columnar epithelium with brush border is seen in the mucous membrane of the gallbladder. This we see here a picture of the gallbladder showing us the simple columnar epithelium, and this epithelium also has a brush border. So these are tall columnar cells, simple columnar epithelium. H&E stain slide, low power view of a slide of stomach showing us the lining epithelium of the mucous membrane, which is simple columnar epithelium. A high power view of the same, we see this is the basement membrane, and these are the columnar cells having an oval nucleus situated near the base of the cells. Simple columnar epithelium. Next we go on to study the pseudostratified columnar epithelium. It is a single layer of cell but it appears as a stratified layer or a multi-layered epithelium, hence called as pseudo, which is false, stratified columnar epithelium. So it's a false stratification. It's defined as if some cells of a membrane reach from its bottom to its surface, which are columnar in shape, and others extend from bottom only up to halfway to its outer surface, this type of epithelium is known as pseudo-stratified columnar epithelium. So all the cells are resting on the basal membrane. Some are tall columnar cells which reach the outer surface, and some do not reach the outer surface. So cells are of different heights, so their nuclei will be at different levels, and that is what gives rise to the false appearance of nuclei being in two rows, and that is what makes us feel that it is a stratified epithelium. So that is pseudo-stratified columnar epithelium. So structure, all the cells are in contact with the basal membrane or the basal lamina, but only some cells reach to the outer surface. Because the cells have different heights, their nuclei are located at different levels, giving an impression, a false impression of a stratified epithelium. Epithelium may have cilia or may not have cilia. So this here shows us stratified, pseudo-stratified columnar epithelium. What we see here is the basal membrane. All cells are resting on the basal membrane. Some cells are tall, columnar, and they reach the outer surface, while some cells are smaller and they do not reach up to the outer surface. But since the heights of the cells are not the same, the nuclei are present at different levels, and that is what gives the false impression of stratification. So this is pseudo-stratified columnar epithelium, which may also show cilia. Function: transport, absorption, secretion, protection, and lubrication. Where do we see this type of epithelium in the body? Pseudo-stratified columnar epithelium is seen in the lining of the male urethra, epididymis, large excretory ducts of glands, and the ductus deferens. Pseudo-stratified ciliated columnar epithelium is seen in the lining epithelium of trachea, primary bronchi, auditory tube, tympanic cavity, nasal cavity, and the lacrimal sac. This, what we see here, is a diagram of trachea. This is the basal lamina, and these are the cells. The columnar cells which reach the outer surface, these are ciliated columnar cells, and these are the other cells which do not reach up to the outer surface. So nuclei are seen at different levels, giving a false appearance of stratification. So pseudo-stratified ciliated columnar epithelium, which is seen in the trachea. This here is a low power field view of H&E stain slide of trachea. So this is the lining epithelium showing pseudo-stratified ciliated columnar epithelium. This is a high power view of the same. So we see that the nuclei are at different level, giving false appearance of stratification. Thus, in this video, we have studied the classification of epithelium, and we saw the simple epithelia in detail. We have seen 4 simple epithelia here: the simple squamous epithelium, simple cuboidal epithelium, simple columnar epithelium, and pseudo-stratified columnar epithelium. In the next video, we will be studying the compound epithelia. Thank you.